Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. And 26 Russian military transport plane crashed into a cliff in Crimea, resulting in the deaths of all 29 people on board. According to Russia's defense ministry, NBC News learned that the ministry cited a possible technical malfunction as the preliminary cause of the crash, which occurred on Tuesday evening during a planned flight over the peninsula annexed by Russia from Ukraine in 2014. Communication with the aircraft was lost around 6 p.m. local time. The Defense Ministry, as quoted by TASS news agency, confirmed that a search team found the crash site and reported that 6 crew members and 23 passengers were killed. The ministry explicitly stated there was no external impact on the aircraft, ruling out missiles, drones, or birds. The An-26, a light tactical military transport aircraft in service since the late 1960s, has been involved in several deadly crashes over the last decade in various locations, including Ukraine, South Sudan, and Ivory Coast. According to the Liberty Times, Iran has initiated a military recruitment program, Defenders of the Homeland Warriors, enlisting children as young as 12 into its armed forces. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International vehemently denounced this practice, asserting it reduces minors to cannon fodder and constitutes a severe war crime under international law. An official from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps confirmed on state television that the recruitment age was lowered to 12 to counter global hegemony, claiming many teenagers willingly joined for urban checkpoint duties. These children are reportedly assigned diverse tasks, including guarding, intelligence gathering, patrols, and logistical and medical support. Amnesty International has documented photos of underage children carrying AK series assault rifles alongside the IRGC, with its research director labeling the recruitment of individuals under 15 for military action a war crime. Iran has a historical precedent of child soldier use, mobilizing over 550,000 during the 1980s Iran-Iraq War, leading to at least 36,000 fatalities. Recent accusations also involve Iran utilizing teenagers for overseas attacks, exemplified by foiled plots against Israeli missions in Sweden in 2000 and 2027 Swinner. 1,540 deaths, including 244 children, in Iran amid escalating conflict. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has proposed an expansion of its ban on the import and sale of products from Chinese electronics manufacturers, including Huawei, ZTE, and Hikvision. This move, reported by Zio Shibal, marks the latest effort by the United States to counter Chinese electronic equipment, citing national security concerns. The FCC had previously, in 2021, added telecommunications and video surveillance equipment from companies like Hytera, Dahua, and Huawei to its covered list. Subsequently, in November 2022, the Commission ceased authorizing new products from these entities. The new proposal seeks public opinion on whether to further prohibit the import and sale of devices that were approved prior to the 2022 ban. The FCC's preliminary findings suggest that such a prohibition is essential to mitigate risks to the U.S. communications industry and safeguard national security. While the measure aims to prevent a rush to import new equipment by implementing the order immediately upon finalization, it assures that existing already purchased devices can still be used by Americans. This action is consistent with other recent FCC crackdowns, such as banning new Chinese drones in December and new Chinese consumer routers just last week. Hikvision has, however, challenged the FCC's October decision in court, arguing it overstepped its authority. Antara News reports that Indonesia has called on the United Nations Security Council to launch an urgent investigation into the repeated attacks targeting UN peacekeepers in Lebanon. This appeal follows an explosion on April 3 in El Adazay, southern Lebanon, which injured 3 Indonesian personnel. The Indonesian Foreign Ministry expressed grave concern, highlighting that this was the 3rd serious attack on its UNIFIL troops in less than a week. The ministry emphasized that the safety and security of UN peacekeepers are non-negotiable, and any harm constitutes a serious violation of international law requiring accountability. Indonesia demands a thorough and transparent investigation to uncover facts and identify those responsible. The country also linked the incidents to Israel's ongoing military operations in southern Lebanon, warning of further destabilization and danger to peacekeepers. Since late March, a total of 8 Indonesian peacekeepers have been wounded and 3 killed in Lebanon. The ongoing conflict in the Middle East, specifically the Iran war, has sparked renewed calls for Canada to establish a sovereign medical supply chain after disruptions to vital helium supplies. Saskatchewan's health authority reported a 50% reduction in liquid helium allocations, essential for MRI machines. Similarly, Air Liquide, a major distributor, has reduced supply and increased prices. While patient care remains unaffected for now, researchers using nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometers warn of severe consequences, including permanent machine damage and significant research setbacks, if helium runs out. Experts like Genevieve Seabrook of Toronto's Princess Margaret Cancer Research Centre and Anne Snowden of the Supply Chain Advancement Network in Health emphasize Canada's long-standing vulnerability to global supply chain shocks, citing previous shortages during COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war. Canada relies heavily on imported active pharmaceutical ingredients, with over 90% sourced internationally, a vulnerability highlighted by delays from the Strait of Hormuz closure. The Canadian Critical Drug Initiative, funded by $5 million, aims to provide domestic backup for pharmaceutical ingredients. However, experts urge greater domestic investment in helium purification and liquefaction, along with improved interprovincial collaboration to reduce dependence and secure critical medical supplies. This news comes from the Canadian Press. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.